Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Kamen Rider W. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, so first stick figure, then detail. And that's basically what we want to do first, is because I got to make sure that I fit the entire thing into this area. I used to be like you. I used to want to just draw the head and build from there. And you know what? There's some days that I do still do that. There's some days where I just want to draw the head with the cool eyes and just go from there. And I don't want to worry about detail of this and that. You know, I just want to draw the face. You know, the fun stuff. You know, but in practices like this where we're doing the entire thing, you can't. You gotta plan out your attack. You gotta plan out what you're gonna do. So it's best to sketch out and position everything first. So that's usually what I do, is stick figure, get it right, and then you can add your detail. Alright, so let me draw his hand real fast. Let me see, what am I going to do for the hand? How about let's just do that. Something a little different. Yeah, I like that. Not bad, not bad. A little different. But again, I mean, that's what we're going for. Okay, let's see. Is there anything specific I need to worry about with this guy? I don't think so. Like the detail. I'm not going to do every single detail. Like color should take care of a lot of it. That's how it is with a lot of these characters. It's mostly about color. And their special magic belts, you know? So, and speaking of color, I mean, the fact that he's two different colors is very defining. Alright, yeah, so this is going to be pretty basic for this one then, because like I said, it's mostly color design, and then whatever his little pattern here is. Alright, let's see, what do we do with this arm? Let's do a finger guns. Just point it out. There you go. I like that. I like that a lot. Sometimes I come up with the pose, but don't think about the tiny details. And this one worked out. This one seemed to make me happy with the detail. Or the positioning. Sorry, not the detail. The positioning. There we go. I like that. Let's see what's specific about his. Let's see that one. So then I'll do this one and like that. There we go. Okay. All right, so let me find some detail for his face, which again, it's not very, you know, eye feature detail. That's kind of what I'm thinking of when I think of details. This is very mask. I mean, but they are masked riders, right? So that's okay. Well, that's expected. Let's see, what about all these lines? Yeah, I should probably try to do them. The downside is they're straight lines, so they might not come out perfect, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. Okay, let me try to get the shape of the head real fast, and then we'll get going. This one worked out pretty fast. Pretty easy. Okay, so sorry if I go quiet here, but usually when I'm going quiet is because I'm concentrating. Okay. Oh, there's a line all the way down the middle. Okay, I see. Which is defining this two sides. Okay, I get it. You know what I don't have a good shot of? There we go, his shoulder. There we go. Okay, there we go. I think I'm ready. Let me erase some of these darker lines, because what I really just want are the faint lines, because what I really just want are the more confident lines I got. So as I was drawing, the more confident I got, the darker I started going with my pencil lines. So those are my confidence lines. And because I want my Sharpie to stand out, I'm going to erase all those light lines so they don't stand out over the Sharpie. If you're working with pencil, you just keep going. You just get darker. I'm trying to make the Sharpie stand out, so I'm just going to erase these lines. But give myself still a little bit of something to guide me. Okay, I think I'm ready. I'm going to welcome everybody that skipped. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. It can find the things that the fine point can't quite find. So I sketched the entire thing out, and I've erased majority of it, but I've got a small, faint ghost of an image to guide me. So I'm going to start off with the Sharpie pen, because I can control the line widths much better. And let's see how much detail I can get in on this thing, because there's a lot of straight lines, and we'll see where we go from here. So to start off, to guide me, I'm going to start off with this middle point. Sorry, my hand's a little sweaty, so I'm trying to keep from wrinkling the paper. So I'm going to start off with this middle point right here, and this will guide me as to where everything else is going to go. So I'm going to draw the little chevron that we got right here, and I can build off of this. So now I can draw, and this is probably not going to come out straight, but that's okay. But now I can draw the little winged front of his mask like this. I mean, I'm going to try to draw it straight, but I'm okay if it's not. There, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So same thing over here. Alright. So now I can build his eyes, and I want his eyes just a little bit underneath that. Like that. Same thing over here. And they may not come out perfect. See, one's a little lower than the other, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. It's the idea, you know? That's all I'm worried about. So, I was debating this in the sketch, those straight lines in his mask. I'll go ahead and do it. I did those, so I'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to start from this point and come up to about right there. I'm just going to go straight down the middle. I'm going to make this one a little bit thicker. I'm going to double line it, because that middle one's thicker than the other two. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try it. I'm going to go for it. There are thinner lines out here that are just kind of, you know, on the edge and are almost too thin to do, but I'm going to try it. Let's just see. That didn't quite come out the way I wanted, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep going. So see how some are closer than the others? That's okay. Could it have been better? Absolutely. Does it still convey what I want it to convey? Absolutely. So we're good. We are good. There we go. So now I can draw the rest of his head. So I'm going to draw, this is his chin. And I'm also going to start to thicken it up too, because once I switch to this Sharpie, it's a whole different ball game. It's going to be completely different. So it's super thick. So I'm just going to kind of play around with thickness to try to match what's going to happen here. So I feel comfortable doing this part. So I'm going to come up here and do this part of his head. And see how I didn't quite touch there? It's okay. I'm going to come back and fix that. But I wasn't letting those lines guide me and make me have to do it a certain way, because I can always go back and adjust. And touch it there, touch there, there, touched. Okay, so now let's draw this edge of his head here. Come down to the side of his face like that. Now, there are other layers on the mask, like lines and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to do that with color. I was talking about this in the sketch of the rest of his body. Same thing, the armor has a lot of plating, but I think I want to do that with color. So I should have done like some stair steps like this kind of. Let's see if I can fix it on the other side. Just real subtle, just like that. Let's see if I could do something over there to kind of make up for that. You know, because it almost doesn't need to be there, but it would be cool if it was, you know? So something like that, because that's where the mask is gonna have those lines. But that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna go any crazier than that. I'm just gonna leave it like it is. So that was all the detail I wanted to put, the fine detail that I wanted to put with the mask. So now I'm gonna switch over to this Sharpie. And I'm gonna draw his neck down like this, and see how thick this is? That's why I want to match the way it looked. Like this, down to his shoulders. That's where his shoulder pads are going to be. And then go ahead and define those. And his body's turned a little bit, so that's why we get this shoulder more than this shoulder. And let me draw in his pecs. That would also help me define a few things here. And there is like a 3D-ish layer to it, so let's see. Let me add his rib cage here. Go down. So same thing. And I'll go ahead and add those lines, and we'll come back and do this. You'll see why in a second. Okay, so because it's armor, it has levels to it. So I kind of want to do something like this. And then we're going to come back in here and add a second like 3D layer to it on this edge. But I wanted to do it with this Sharpie just to define a little bit more of the edge without making it stand out. Because what I always talk about with these Sharpies is that these are super screaming defiant. Like they'll say, hey, look at me, pay attention to me. So you kind of want to be subtle with them, you know, and not go too crazy. But with Sharpies, Sharpies scream at you. Sharpies are saying, hey, look at me. I'm a Sharpie. Something is here. So I like playing with thick and thin lines with this to be subtle with it. Okay, there's a line going all the way down. That's kind of why I was doing that there. Alright, so since we have a defined edge, let's go ahead and draw this arm over here. So I'm going to draw some bumps in his arm for the armor. Like that. And also for the creases in his material. And I'm draw his cuff before his wrist, and like I said, this is just to show that there's some creases there, and the rest I'm going to draw with color for the lines in the armor. Okay, so for this hand, I'm pretty much he's just going to be doing like this. It's just going to be, let's see if I can do it, just pretty much like this, a simple hand just down, nothing crazy. So I'm going to draw the thumb there. And there's his first finger. And this is a little hard to do with Sharpies, but we're going to do it. And so his other finger's just wrapped around like this. And that's going to put it about like that. Now, I'm going to add some detail with this Sharpie to, like I was doing up there, to define it, but not go crazy. You know? So see, the smaller Sharpie will help you out to make lines and creases, but without such a thick definition. Okay? So let's do the same thing over here for this arm. Let's see, his pit is coming through like this to the bottom of his arm. Same thing, I'm going to add those little bumps for the armor. And then the cuff on this one, we're going to come up like this. And so this one we're going to do like finger guns. We're going to, he's pretty much just going to be doing like this. So I'm going to draw his thumb up here like this, come down to his finger, out like that. And so these are kind of tucked in, so we're just going to draw some loops in like that. Then I'll come back in for detail in a second to define a little bit more and to make sense. Okay? Alright, so going to add some lines like this, and not go too crazy. I kind of went out of the Sharpie line there, but that's okay. Alright. Okay. Same thing here. Some creases and fold places. And so now, oops, I lost my picture. There it is. Now I can draw the rest of them. So I'm going to bring his rib cage down like this to the armor, like that. So it's a little defined. I went a little too crazy with it. It shouldn't have been that angled. Down to the belt. And so the belt, it's hard for me to see, but I say this with all the belts. I don't know anything about them. I mean, all I can do is sketch what I see, and hopefully I got it a little bit right. But because I don't own one, and I only have pictures of the from the internet of what he's wearing, that's all I can go by. So I'll do my best. Okay. Alright, so I like to also come back in here and just do a little bit of like tech work, not tech work, I add science to it, you know. I add little parts, greeblies, and detail. Even though I'm sure I'm drawing it wrong, you know. But it's okay. It's the devil's in the details, is what they say. That's the fact that you add the detail, you're gonna make it fun. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see. Now we're just gonna draw his pants, and it's basically material, armor, legs, feet. You know. So let's draw his. Let's see. I'm gonna draw the line. Let's draw here. Let's define his crotch real fast with these lines. And again, I'm going to thicken up the middle one and draw the two outer ones like that. And this will also guide us as to where the middle is and where we can build off of, because he's got like rubber pants, you know, like stretchy pants. Not rubber pants, sorry, nobody has rubber pants. There's a backside like that. So I'm gonna draw his armor in like this. Gonna draw his front leg to his knee. And I'm pretty much just gonna keep going because his pants are flexible and armored. Does that make sense? So again, he does have some lines going around for where the edges are. Like that. There we go. I seem to be going crazy lately, just drawing my lines way past where they should be, so sorry about that. You keep yours a little cleaner. I don't know why mine went like that. I think I'm just excited, and I just like drawing all these lines, so I just go crazy and draw a whole bunch. So there you go. So let's just finish up his pants. We're going to draw the cuff like we did on his wrist, like that. Then draw the front of his shoe, pointed at you, like that. I'll add a little bit of detail. That. I want to add some more in his legs, but again, it's a lot of color detail, you know. Maybe you do that. That'll work. That'll work. That'll give us something, right? Because color is going to do a lot of that, but we gotta have something there. So we're going to do the same thing over here. Just draw his front of his leg down to his knee, his shin, then his cuff, like that. So I can draw the other side, the inner thigh, back of his knee. What's that called? Your back of your leg, your calf muscle. I'm going to draw his boot down like that. Other side, or bottom side, I guess. Like this. Add some detail with the Sharpie. Okay, and let's see, for his knee, we're going to kind of do like we did there. Can't see the whole thing like that, but you can see something. There we go. Let's see, and so yeah, for his boot, let's give him like we did over there. Okay, so there you go. This screams color. So I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Kamen Rider W. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.